In this video, I'm going to set up a channel-based trade on the pound yen. So basically there is a point of support forming. I've drawn a line which is my stop trend line. So if the price falls below this trend line and I am long, I want to switch to a short position. So my trade is to buy when the price hits this or the selected trend line. I will then sell to close the position when the price hits this point of resistance. And I'm not going for the extreme outer point of resistance. I'm bringing it back to the first likely point of resistance, which is somewhere around here. So the ideal outcome will be that the price will oscillate between support and resistance, and when it eventually breaks this lower support trend line, I will close out the position, any long position, and I will switch to a short trade. When I am short, I then want to use a MACD to close out the short position. So I'm now going to set up these trades. So the first one is my buy to open if I don't have a long position. I'm going to use a 1 minute interval. So the minute the price falls below this line, I will open up a long position. Okay, so 100k a lot. If no position, buy to open. I would like this to continually happen until the alert is paused or stopped. So I'm going to set it up to recheck after 1 minute. So after the alert conditions are met, it goes to sleep. 1 minute later, the alert starts checking again to see if the price is falling below this trend line. I'm just now going to activate that. For the close, it's point of resistance. If the price rises above this trend line, again 1 minute interval, I'm going to sell to close. Okay, 100k a lot. This time, if long, execute this. So only if I am long. So if I close out the long position and the price rises above the trend line again, no further action will be taken because I have no position. So only execute this if long, and on event do nothing. So as before, I want this to keep running, and I'm hoping for the price to bounce between these two levels continuously. So I'm going to reactivate after 1 minute. So click activate. If the price falls below this lower trend line, then I want to switch to a short position. So the price falls below the trend line, and I'm going to use a 1 hour interval because I do not want to get switched into a short position simply because the 1 minute candle, for example, touches on the line. I want a clean breakthrough before I close out any long positions and switch to a short position. So this time I'm going to use a sell switch. The sell switch will close my long position and then sell to open into a short position. If I do not have a long position, then I will simply sell to open a short position. So as before, 100k a lot. When this happens, so if I'm not in a short position, when the price falls below the lower trend line based on a 1 hour candle, then I want to sell switch. And the reason I'm saying if not short, I may manually decide or put another rule in place that switches me to a short position. So I do not want to double up my position. So if not short, that means I can have no position or I can be in a long position. If I have no position or if I'm in a long position, the sell switch will execute. So in this instance, I want to then pause all of the active alerts that will be running, and I want to activate the paused MACD alert. And I only want this to happen once. So I'm going to pause the active and activate then a MACD alert that I'm now going to create. Okay, I'm just going to delete these old alerts. Okay, so the next rule, which will remain paused until the stop trend line is broken, is a MACD, early interval MACD alert. So if we get a positive crossover, the blue line rises above the red line. Just close this alert notification on the euro dollar. Okay, so I'm going to buy to close a short position. On the K lot, only executed if I'm short. And when it is executed, I'm just going to pause all alerts if I have others running. Again, just send once. So I'm going to leave this in a pause state. So active alerts are continually checked until the conditions are met. Paused alerts are not checked until such a time that they are activated. So this alert will remain paused until the sell switch pauses these active alerts and then activates this alert. So these will all be paused and then this will become active. So now you sit back and see what the market does.